Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous Monday. Today I'm coming at you with our weekly Minks Monday Q&A, and let's get started because I think this one might be a long one. Alright, starting with the very first question from 2D Cash. Can you please start listing the makeup you wear in your videos? Yes, I will. I promise. I have completely failed you guys. I don't know what's going on, but once I start to upload, and I put all the information I need to, I completely forget about my makeup. But moving forward, I will make an effort to do that. But thank you for reminding me. Okay, Ashley Blank. She has 3 questions. Hey Minnie, which one should I choose first? A Louis Vuitton Speedy 30 in Demi Azur print or a Chanel Walk as someone's first adventure into luxury goods? Ooh, that is a tough question. My heart wants to say the Speedy 30 in Demi Azur because I think you'll get more use out of it. However, I think the specific print, the Demi Azur, I don't want you to have a bad experience with it. It is probably out of the 4 canvases that Louis Vuitton offers, it is probably the most, the one that you have to be a little bit more careful with. So I wouldn't want you to have a bad experience and think that Louis Vuitton isn't as fabulous of a fashion house as it is. So I wouldn't go for a Demi Azur, but between the two, I would go for the Chanel Walk. It is extremely versatile, and you can literally use it. There's so many different functions for it that you can use it in every aspect of your life. And especially because it's a little bit harder to find here in the US, I would go for the Walk over the Speedy 30, even though I love me some Speedies. Okay, next one. Do all multicolored pieces come from France? The closest store is 8 hours away, and I would feel comfortable buying online if they were all made in France. No, they are not. And truth be told, I think a while ago I was talking to one of my essays, and I don't know if it's a for sure thing, but they were saying that most of the SLGs are actually made in Spain. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea, but I know a lot of my multicolored pieces are from Spain, and I think they just reserve the bags more so towards France. So I would have to say no, they are not made in France, and I would just be careful. If you can call the store ahead, some essays are truly fabulous and they will try to help you out. I know Pedro used to call me a France snob because I wanted all my pieces made in France, but it's all preference, and like I said, I think if you get a pretty good essay, you should get a pretty good chance of getting one made in France. They should be able to help you out. Okay, 3 Are LV stores able to ship items, or would you physically have to pick them up from the store? You know what? No, I have had quite a few items shipped from the store to my house, but I honestly think it's because I was already in their database. If you're a brand new customer to the store, I think it might be harder because you're not in their database. So once you get it on there, they would have no problem shipping it out to your house. But it's just initially getting into that system. That would be awesome if that could happen. And then after that, the essays are seriously, they are awesome. The ones that I have had, they're like, yeah, sure, I'll ship it out to your house. And I don't live too far away from an LV store. I think at most 45 minutes, an hour at most with traffic. And sometimes I just don't want to drive down there. And they have been super, super awesome in just shipping it out to my house. So an essay, a great essay is really the key to this Louis Vuitton addiction. Okay, Marsha Shu. Just curious, what is your opinion on the French company? Would you ever purchase a French company Speedy? This is a great question. And I did some notes on here. For those of you that don't know, Louis Vuitton, before they started manufacturing their own bags, they actually gave permission to the French company back in the 70s and 80s for them to be able to make their bags. And this is well before the newer Speedies in the 1990s. And all it is, it's pretty much it's still Louis Vuitton, but there are some significant differences between the French company Louis Vuitton and Louis Vuitton itself. And you guys can always Google it and check it out. A lot of the French company pieces just had coated leather already. So it kind of had that older look to the bag initially when you first got it, versus having untreated leather, untreated vachetta that Louis Vuitton currently has now. So I don't know. I've thought about purchasing one. I really, really want an old Speedy, especially maybe from the French company because they're a lot older. And I think I might. And sometimes it depends on the way that the bag is. The resale value might be there on other pieces if sometimes the pieces aren't as sturdy or as durable as they are now. However, because they use the coated leather versus the vachetta, I've heard a lot of people say that their bags are, they look immaculate and they might be 30, 40 years old. So it's all a matter of where you get it, how old it is, as far as getting an older French company Speedy. But I think I don't know. I think I might, just so I can, because I'm such a fan of Speedies, I just want to I wish I could have one of every single line that was ever made. I would just love to have just a shelf full of Speedies. But that is a great question. And I know back in the day they had problems with some of their zippers and some of the canvas cracking. But then again, like I said, it all depends upon how it was cared for. But great question. Okay, and Jess says, do you know what happens to pieces, whether it be bags, shoes, or fashion at Louis Vuitton that don't sell? I've heard various things over the years, like they get destroyed. Wow. Okay, well, let me tell you guys, yes, they do get destroyed. I had one essay tell me that they get destroyed at the end of every fiscal year, and then another essay told me that they didn't get destroyed. And I actually did a lot of research on this, and most of the research that I found was that they do get destroyed. They actually burn them. And some people think that it's, so I actually read in a place that said they burn them in order to prevent from selling them at a lower price, but that is not necessarily the reason why. And I actually made another note on here. It says the main reason why they burn their items, why they destroy their items, is because, quote unquote, if something is imported with a duty paid into the U.S. and later destroyed with customs notification, they'll refund the duties. So obviously, they're going to pay a duty to have them, come into the U.S. So as far as the U.S., the aspect of it, I do know that they burn them. And I cannot believe that. I cringed when I saw that, or when I heard that, because I'll take them. I'll take them off your hands. Can you imagine if they ever decided to give them at a lower rate? Obviously that would bring down the value of the fashion house. So that's a big reason as to why they don't do that, as well as the major reason, the first reason, is because of the duties that they pay. So, it makes sense from a business standpoint, and I understand it. But for us LV addicts, it was just death to my ears when I heard that. So yes, they do destroy them. I'll take them. Okay. A.K. Komorowski. I was wondering what your thoughts are on the Rebecca Minkoff Love Crossbody bags. Well, I'm not a big fan of this particular bag. I feel that it is highly influenced by the Chanel boy bag, and it is not for me. Not a big fan of it. Okay, Stanley Dragon Jr. My very good friend Stanley Dragon. She has an Instagram. If you guys don't follow her on Instagram, you guys should. Oh my goodness. Amazing collection. But that's a little tangent on that. But what she's talking about is the lipstick that I was wearing in my previous Minks Monday. And the one that I was wearing is this bad boy right here, which is a Victoria's Secret Beauty Rush. And the color is Pucker Up, and it is in green. And it has all these little gold glitters. They are gorgeous. And it smells... Oh, it smells like green apples. I am obsessed. But that's what I was wearing. And I was actually very skeptical when I saw this, because I green lipstick, I would never in a million years think to wear it, or lip gloss. And I really like it. I like the way that it turned out. So that is the color. Okay. And Mads 1074. Can you make a video comparing the Emily wallet and the Josephine? Have you ever thought about purchasing or have owned the Syracuse bag? Okay, I would love to do a comparison video on the Emily and the Josephine. However, I only own the Josephine, and out of the two, obviously my preference is the Josephine. And have I ever thought about purchasing a Syracuse bag? No, I haven't. I can appreciate them. I think they're very nice, especially in Demi Azur. But it's not for me. I don't know why. I every time I look at them, I'm like, oh, they're beautiful, but not for me. Okay. And Vanel Klong. I'm so sorry. I just butchered your name. I know it. Just bought my first LV. Yay! Now trying to fill it with SLGs. And for those of you that don't know, SLGs are small leather goods. I want a cosmetic pouch, a 6-ring key holder, and a Josephine wallet. In what order and in what print would you buy them? Well, okay. So first one, right out of the gate, I would get the 6-ring key holder and monogram. I am obsessed with that piece. I've told you guys before, it is the one piece, the only piece. If I could only have one in my entire collection that I would keep, it would be that. So that's the first one. The second one, I would probably go for the Josephine mono with the fuchsia interior. Like I said before, I have most of the wallets that I have are Josephines, and I absolutely love the simplicity of the wallet. And the fact that now it comes with that beautiful fuchsia interior is to die for. So I love that. And third, I would go for the cosmetic pouch and multicolor noir. Actually, I might even switch number 2 and number 3 because the multicolor is so hard to come by. So I would probably do the cosmetic pouch first in multicolor and then do the Josephine, because you can find that later, and that's not being discontinued anytime soon. So yes, hopefully I was able to help you out with that. Okay. Zoe T. Hi, Minnie. Hello. Happy Monday. Just wondering, what your thoughts are on the limited edition pieces that LV has come out with? Graphic prints on the monogram canvas, like Steven Sprouse, graffiti, roses, trunks and locks, groom collections, etc. Well, I am a big fan of the Steven Sprouse, the graffiti, as well as the roses. And my girl, Emily Clark, just picked up a Steven Sprouse rose mini or pochette. Oh my goodness, it is to die for. It is gorgeous. And as far as the trunks, I actually had a mini pochette with the trunks and locks on the front. I rarely used it, so I ended up selling it. And the groom collection, I'm not a big fan of either. I don't know what it is. I like classic pieces, and obviously the graffiti and the roses is a little bit more, it's a little bit more eccentric than I would get, but there is just something about those two. I think it's the pops of color. I mean, against the monogram, I think it looks fantastic. And if I got a graffiti, it would probably be, I thought maybe the hot pink, but I really like the green. I don't know why. I like the hot, is it hot? Yeah, hot green. The neon green, that's what I meant to say. Hot green, my goodness, I am a whole mess today. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of them. Like I said, I like to get classic pieces, and unless it's something that I'm absolutely going to keep, like the Steven Sprouse Speedy with the graffiti or the roses, then I would keep it. Otherwise, I'm not big on digging on it. Okay, Sarah Grigo, I'm sorry. I was wondering if you would ever do a video on the story of your engagement / wedding story. I love your wedding ring and I would love to hear your story. Might even be cute to include your hubby in this kind of video. Oh my goodness. Thank you very much. I just have a simple band. There are 3 bands stuck together or put together. I actually have these 2 together and this one's kind of loose because sometimes I have to take it off for work and I don't want to take the whole thing. But thank you very much. It's very kind of you. And sure, if you guys would like me to do, tell you guys the story of how we met and you know, the whole kit and caboodle of our engagement, I would love to share it with you guys. Absolutely. However, I can tell you guys right now, my hubby would not would not want to be in the video. And I respect him for that. He is he's not private. He's just extremely shy. And what's funny is that opposites do attract, definitely, because I am very loud. I'm very bubbly. I'm a social butterfly. I can make friends with anyone if you put me in a room full of strangers. And my husband takes a little bit more time to get to know someone and be able to talk to them freely. So I highly doubt he would do the video. I will ask him, but I can almost guarantee he'll say no. But great question. Okay, Susie Roman. I'm sorry. I am butchering your guys' names left and right. Okay, I am not sure if you've answered this question before or not, but I would really love to hear your opinion on made in France versus made in the US. Have you noticed a difference in quality, finishing, or resale value? This is another great question. Okay, so you guys know from my previous videos, and I think I said it earlier today, I am a made in France snob. I will admit it. I don't know what it is. I think it's the fact that it is a French company, and I just like seeing those three fabulous words, made in France, on my pieces. And there really is no quality difference. The US gets all the stuff from France anyways, and they're just assembled here. That's all it is. It's a way to be able to provide to the masses without having to worry about only having it be in one warehouse in France. So it's the same products, the same quality. I just prefer made in France. And truth be told, I have noticed that if you ever try to sell something that's made in the US and you try to sell the same item that's made in France, you will get more people that ask for the made in France versus the US. And I think I think it's the same thing that they prefer to have a made in France stamp on a French luxury good. That's how I feel anyways. And yes, like I said, I am a made in France snob, and I don't, especially now with those cloth tags, I do not like them. So whenever I can, I try to get a made in France piece, but it's not always the case. But no, I think it's all the same. It's all a matter of preference. Okay. And Sue Locked. Hi, Minnie. Which bags? Hello. Which bags will you be taking on your trip, and which ones will you be looking to purchase while in Europe? Whew. Okay, so this is a loaded question. I'm actually debating because the weather is supposed to be, it's supposed to be a little bit of rain when we first get there, and then it's supposed to be just, I think, in the high 60s or high 50s, low 60s, and it's supposed to be partly sunny. So I'm debating whether or not I should have my Chanel walk, or should I just continue to use my Louis Vuitton Damier Ebene? Because God forbid it starts to rain, I will start freaking out. So as I'm saying this, I think I'm going to stick to my my Louis Vuitton Damier Ebene Eva clutch, because you never know. And I will be I thought about taking a big bag on the plane too, maybe a Neverfull, but I don't want to smash it in my luggage if I come back. I don't know. I think I might just end up taking my Moyen Montserrat backpack because I did use that last time and I absolutely loved it. So I think those are the two I'm going to take. Now, as far as what I'm looking for, whew, okay, this list is long. I want to get a mini pochette and monogram from Louis Vuitton. I'm going to see if I can find some espadrilles from Chanel. I want to get something from Prada. I just have a bunch of I want to get. And it seems like the list grows daily. And I'm trying to be good because I really want to enjoy myself. And I know, really, if I was, if I could, I'd shop every single day, every single second. But I really want to see the sights, especially because of the history of where I'm going. So I don't know. And then I thought, what if I got a boy bag while I'm there? But no, I don't really want to get one. What if I found a red GST? So indecisive. I'm trying to just get a list done, so when I go there, I already have that in the back of my mind and I can just shop them and get them if I find them. Otherwise, I will I will waste so much time trying to figure out what I want. You guys know I'm super, super indecisive. Okay, Melissa Bailey. I have a few questions. She has 3. Where is your necklace from? And she's talking about the previous video, and the necklace that I wore was actually this dainty cutie right here, which is a little, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, a little arrow with little rhinestones on it. And it is actually from my Pop Sugar box. I got it for Valentine's Day, maybe, or in the January box. I don't know, but I got it in there, and I really like it because it's so tiny. It's so, usually I wear chunky, big statement pieces, and this was kind of a nice twist. Okay, number 2, how often do you use your Almas and Vernis? I haven't used my cerise too much this year. I used it a lot when I first got it, and my Noir Magnetic I actually have used more. Not so much because it's older, but during when it gets really cloudy or just in the fall, I like to have a black bag. So I've put them in my rotation. So yes, I use them. I think just as much as any other bag, I would assume. And number 3, what is your most used handbag in your collection? Well, I have 2, and I think out of the 2, oh man, that's a hard one. It's probably a toss-up. I mean, they're close. I would have to say that my Neverfull Demi Azur is right there with my Chanel GST in the black caviar leather. I use that bag all the time. I mean, whenever I can. Currently, I'm using the beige GST, but I am obsessed with GSTs. So I think those 2 are actually the 2 that I use the most out of all of my bags. Yes. Okay. God Gentle. I'm so sorry. Okay. I am wondering whether to save up for a Luminaise or go for the Totally MM in Damier Ebene. I've heard quite a few people complain about the leather cracking on the Luminaise. I think I'm saying that wrong as well. My God, what is going on with me today? I'm all over the place. Okay, so back to the question. You know what? I have heard the same thing, that the Upfront Luminaise or Lumineuse is actually, a lot of people have complained about it. I have read tons of threads on it on the Purse forum, and a lot of people say it's very heavy. It tends to lose its shape. And even though Emprunt I am obsessed with, I would have to say that the Totally MM in the Damier Ebene. You might get some cracking on the Damier Ebene because of the coated leather, but it's a tote, and the canvas I think is a little more sturdy versus the Emprunt. But I don't know. If it were me, I would go for the Totally. Totally, man. Stupid. Did I just say that? I did. All right, moving on. Oh, she has 2 questions. As a follower on Instagram, I am wondering why you only ship to the US and not internationally. Really, all that is it's just a lot cheaper for me to be able to ship it within the US versus me having to pay for it overseas. And I wouldn't want to raise the price just for shipping, especially with the exchange rate depending upon where you live. That's why I usually just tend to stick to the US. But I would, if I could, I would. If it would make it easier, I would. Okay, and Ariel Sanchez, how do you get over that anxious feeling when going into a luxury brand store? I'm so nervous to go into Chanel because of this. Okay, so when I first got into this addiction that is high-end luxury goods, I felt the same way. I felt like my heart was going to just jump out of my chest. I got super nervous. I felt that my hands were getting clammy. And really, there's no reason for that to happen, because if you go in there and they are rude, I've told you guys before, you can do one of 2 things. You can say, you know what, I've never been in here before. This is my first time. I would appreciate it if you weren't so judgmental or so mean or whatever it is that they're doing to you. But honestly, these high-end luxury brands should have great customer service. And yes, there are really bad reps out there that really don't care who they're representing. And I think that if you get someone who really appreciates the company that they're working for, they will go out of their way to help you out and kind of give you a brief history of the brand and really listen to what it is that you need in your life, whether it be a bag, shoes, whatever it is. So I say you just go in there with an open mind. Don't think twice about it. Think as though you're walking into Target or Walgreens, or I mean any other store. Customer service is customer service, and they should be nice, they should be helpful, and if they're not, like I said, you can call them out on it, or you can walk out, or you can ask for someone else. Don't let the name on the store deter you from going in there, because you never know. What if you have a magnificent shopping experience, but because you're holding yourself back and you're kind of anticipating what's going to come out of their mouth or how they're going to act towards you, you would never know. You know what I mean? So I say put that all aside. Go in there, hold your head up high, and just have a great, great time, because that's all that matters. You're not using their money to pay for something that you want to get. And you are using your hard-earned money or your gift or whatever it is, whatever you're using to purchase that item. It's your happiness. So like I said, just hold your head up high. Don't charge in there. Be nice. And if you're nice to someone, they're going to be nice to you. If you go in there being a jerk and demanding things, then that's a whole different story. But regardless, just be nice. Go in there with an open mind, and trust me, you will have a blast. I can guarantee it. Somewhat, because I have had a share of some nasty essays. But yes, don't worry about the anxiousness. If you want to, you can always read up on the brand itself, kind of have a notion of what it is, or an idea of what you want to purchase in the back of your head, and you should be fine. Don't worry about it. Don't give it a second thought. Okay, and the very last question is from Becky. What are your thoughts on the Saint Laurent YSL Monogram Chevron Classic Bag? I've contemplated buying the large grain leather for work. Okay, so I love this bag. I told you guys before, I'm a huge Yves Saint Laurent fan. I don't know why I haven't added a bag to my collection. I don't know why. But the bag that she's asking about currently retails for $25.50 here in the States, if I'm not mistaken. And I love the chevron look to it. I like the lines that it has for the bag, and especially the hardware. It has YSL on the top, or on the front, and the chain detail. It is a beautiful, beautiful bag. And I have actually thought about purchasing that one as well while I'm in Italy. I probably won't, but it is a beautiful bag. I say go for it. I want a little bit more of a variety in my collection. I have a lot of Louis Vuitton and some Chanel. I want to add just a few more pieces from different designers. Yes, so that is it. That is all the questions that I have. And hopefully I didn't miss any. My throat again. I think I'm getting sick. Oh no, what if I get sick before I go? I'm going to be so upset. Okay, I'm just making sure. Yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I'm going to try to do as many videos as I can before I leave. I don't know if I will be able to. I know I have 2 planned for this week. And I think I'm going to show you guys what I'm taking with me on my Demi Ben Ava clutch. I thought about it. What do you guys think? Should I do it? Yay or nay? Let me know in the comments down below. But anyways, like I said, that's all I have. I'm sorry I keep saying that. And I will see you guys later this week. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.